Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Iowa State Fair. I am here on the behalf of the Lint Lovers of America Association, and today I'm going to show you how to keep things lint-elicious. Now, we at the Lint Lovers of America Association know and understand your pain when others don't understand how important those loose fibers that gather in your dryer really are. Now, today I'm going to give you a small glimpse into the wonderful world of lint. Now, lint can be used in so many ways. In the past, I've talked about how you can make lint hair accessories, how you can use it to make pins for your shirts. It can also be used to make pictures and in paper mache and just so many other ways. Now, before I go on any further, I just want to say I feel right at home. That is, when I have my lint with me, and by the end of my speech, I hope you feel the same way. Lint can be any color. It could be blues, or pinks, or grays, it doesn't matter. Now, if you want a desired color of lint, all you have to do is wash a load of clothes that are of light color and then dry them together. Now, this is good for two reasons. A, you have the lint color you want, and B, you actually wash clothes to do it. Hopefully, it'll also help keep your house a bit cleaner. Now, before I go any further, I want to talk about one thing. Lint is extremely flammable. This is why I strongly advise against using lint in those cute and cuddly things you're going to want to snuggle up with, such as using lint to stuff a pillow or a doll, a teddy bear, or a quilt. This could be a potential fire hazard. I was thinking though, why don't I use Lint's natural fancy for fire to my advantage? So I'm going to tell you how to make fire starters with lint. A fire starter out of lint can be as simple as picking up a piece of lint and put it on with your next kindling, and that's how you start your fire. You could also put lint in the middle of a toilet paper or paper towel tube that's been used. But the cutest and most crafty way I have found, you will need cupcake liners, wood chips, wax, and the ever so useful and yet lovable lint. Now, for cupcake liners, you can use any kind you want. They can be patriotic or just have crazy designs on them. When you get your wood chips, you can get these at a local pet store if you don't have any handy, because it's used for bedding for some animals. Now for your wax, you can use old candles or crayons. It really doesn't matter as long as you have wax. And your first step is going to be tearing the lint into small pieces and putting it into a bowl. Then you mix in your wood chips. And in mine, I also use crayon wrappers because that's the type of wax I used, and I wanted to be more resourceful with my project. You then mix it all together. After you have that finished, you take and you start putting your liners into your cupcake tin. You're going to want to melt your wax. There are many ways to melt wax. You can do this over the stove in a pan or in an old coffee can. Or you could do it the easy way, like I did. Just get a disposable bowl, a crayon, and a disposable spoon and put it in the microwave. After it's finished, just pull it out and with your handy dandy spoon, stir it around until it's fully melted. And then you have yourself a lint-horrific fire starter. Now to make the top part of it so it's more decorative, you're going to want a decent size of lint. Then you're going to want to roll it into what I call a snake. And then you just twirl it up on top of itself and squeeze the top so it kind of makes a decorative top. Now, some say this next use for lint is pointless, but I know, as all of you will soon, that any use for lint is a great use for lint. Next, we'll be making lint clay. Now, some people go crazy with this and make life-size sculptures out of this clay. The recipe I'm going to give you, though, is not quite enough for that, but it's enough to have a lot of good lint fun. you're going to need 3 cups of torn lint. All you do is the same as the fire starter. Take some lint and tear it up into small pieces. And then you're going to want to put it in a saucepan. You're also going to need 2 cups of water that you put in with the lint and you start to mix it. Then you're going to need 1 cup of flour and a small amount of vegetable oil. After you have all of your ingredients mixed together, you put them on a low heat until it starts sticking to itself. Afterwards, you go ahead and pour your lint out onto wax paper or any other type of material. After it cools, go ahead and let yourself have some lint fun. And perfect presto lintorama, you have another lint creation. Now you're going to want to let your creations out of lint clay sit for 3 to 7 days to dry. Now my time is running short, and my final thing I'll be sharing with you how to make out of lint is cards. You're going to need your typical card making supplies, such as glitter or cardstock or whatever else you decide to use. You're going to need glue. I found that a glue stick works the best. And you will need the ever so popular lint. Now, how this is achieved is first you decide a design for your card. Now it can be free-handed or you can draw it on with the glue. I use painter's tape because that peels off easily and it helps set a defined design. Afterward, you take and you put glue in the spots that are empty and you dab lint on top. And then it will stick. This just adds color and a new texture to your card making. And you have another Lint-elicious creation. Now, my time is up, and I have to continue on with my quest to spread the love of lint. I hope you've learned how to keep things Lint-elicious. But before I leave, I want to ask you one final question. If we continue to wash and dry our clothes, and lint continues to gather in our dryers, would eventually our clothes just disappear? Oh, thank you. Are there any questions?
Where did you get the idea?
The question was, where did I get the idea? I actually got the idea because I was thinking about doing a recycling speech. So I was looking up different things on the internet on how to reuse things, and I found a whole entire website of the ways people use lint. And some people are like die hard about this and use it for everything. And I just thought it'd be a very creative way of giving a speech that nobody really heard before. Are there any other questions? The question was, have I made the lint clay? And the answer is yes, I actually have. And it took mine several days to dry, but I took and actually went on vacation afterwards, and I set it on top of itself, and it wasn't fully dried through. So when I came back, it had molded, and I came back from vacation like 2 days before State Fair, so I didn't have enough time to make another creation out of clay. Are there any other questions? If not, this concludes my presentation. Thank you.